na nga maglaro. Gutom na ako. Ha? Iris? Ano nangyari sa'yo? Pasok kasi ako habang nagluluto.
Ay, susunod mag-ingat ka ha. Ano ba yan? O sige, maupo ka na at ako na dito.
Sige po. Thank you.
Ayan na.
Ate, na-curious lang ako. Bakit kaya pag nakakahawak tayo ng mainit na bagay, bigla-bigla na lang tayo ng bitaw o kaya nagugulat? Tapos yung sakit, nararamdaman na lang natin after ma-realize na napaso na pala tayo.
Yan din yung dahilan kung bakit ko inaral yung nervous system. Sobrang curious ko dati kung bakit nga ba, or kung paano nga ba napaprocess yung utak natin sa ganyang kabibilis na sitwasyon.
Parang gusto ko na rin aralin nila. Para malaman ko kung bakit nagkakaganito yung katawan natin, yung reactions, tas yung mga certain sensations ng mga katawan natin.
Pwede na makita turuan dyan. Ano, chika ba?
Ha? G? Saan?
Saan pa ba? Ito si nervous system natin. Good day everyone, my name is Hart and this is my little sister Iris. Together we discover the parts of the nervous system, specifically the neurons and its functions. For something smaller than a speck of dust, you will be surprised to know that there are more than just a couple of parts to make up one neuron. This is a neuron. Our body is composed of 135 billion neurons that serve as a communication channel throughout our whole structure. Without them, we are senseless. In short, neurons are integral to making our life possible and complete. This is dendrites. This branch-like part is what you call dendrites or dendron. They work as the receiver of information or the stimulus we acquire through our sensory organs. O, tanda mo ba yung five senses natin?
Oo naman, napag-aralan niya namin siya before eh. Eyes for sight, nose for smelling, tongue for taste, ears for hearing, and skin for touch.
That's right. Everything that our senses touch on, the dendrites will work together to receive that information to pass them to the cell body or the soma. Now, the cell bodies contain genetic information that allows protein synthesis and metabolic support to take place. Do you see the nucleus in the organelles?
As clear as the crystal.
This synthesis and support has many different functions, but most importantly, it helps the cell body to transmit information or impulses to the axon. Well, the cell body houses them under its care. Just imagine the cell body as the company building. Now, the nucleus is the CEO or the management office that develops everything that is needed to keep the building working properly, such as the protein synthesis. This vital part is responsible for orchestrating everything that is essential for the cell. Next up is the mitochondria, which is considered as the powerhouse of the cell, because it actually produces energy to maintain the neurons to function well. Besides that, it helps in protecting the neuron as well as supporting the metabolism for the cell activity. Think of mitochondria as the power generators. Without it, any operation would fail from the lack of power. Of course, the endoplasmic reticulum also helps in facilitating the production and processing of molecules for the functioning of a neuron. It actually produces and synthesizes chemicals necessary for the neurotransmitter release like serotonin, or what most people call as the happy hormone. It manufactures biomolecules for neuronal function and communication. This synthesis and support has many different functions, but most importantly, it helps the cell body to transmit information or impulses to the axon. Once the endoplasmic reticulum produces proteins, the Golgi apparatus will process, sort, and modify both proteins and lipids with the use of enzymes to catalyze them. They will be transported to their eventual destination like the lysosomes. Hello, CJ! It's been a while. Kamusta ka?
Ate, come on. Pagpatuloy na natin yung pinag-uusapan natin.
Hindi ka lang dyan. Kausap ko sa ate si Trina eh.
Are you talking about our recent discussion, Heart? Uy, favorite ko to.
Paano kaya kung ikaw na magtuloy nung sinasabi ko sa batang ito? Gusto ko kasi yung mga sagutan mo ng discussion natin eh. Gusto ko ulit marinig yun.
Wow, mukhang marami na rin kayo napag-usapan na. Then speaking of the endoplasmic reticulum, there is what we call the Nissos granule. It is located in the cell body associated with the endoplasmic reticulum and comprises clusters of ribosomes, acids, and lipids. It is responsible for protein synthesis. Primarily, protein synthesis in neurons is crucial for their growth and synaptic plasticity.
Now that I observed this thoroughly, what do you call this gap? Is this a normal gap or something?
Well, that is nodes of Ranvier. It can be found in the gaps in the myelin sheath on the axon. It allows the ions, nutrients, and wastes of the nerve cells to diffuse in and out of the neurons. They are like cleaners in your brain that maintain the cleanliness of neurons. However, glial cells are also responsible for cleaning tasks.
Glial cells? I think I've heard it before.
So, glial cells are not just cleaners, but they also produce myelin sheath. Myelin sheath is a fatty substance that is responsible for protecting or insulating the axon of a neuron. Also, it plays a vital role in speeding up the communication of neurons to each other.
I'm glad we have these cells.
Don't forget the presence of the most significant parts of a neuron, none other than the axon and dendrites. First is the axon, which is a long tail-like structure that serves as a path of synaptic vesicles containing neurotransmitters to transmit the message to the receiving cell or postsynaptic neuron. Next are the dendrites, which have an essential and major role in terms of receiving and processing stimuli and signals from the axons of the neurons. Additionally, it is known as dendritic trees, for one neuron could have multiple dendrites, unlike the axon because one neuron can only have one main axon.
Bye-bye, CJ! Thank you!
Thank you.
That's it, my dear audience. These are the fundamental components and functions of neuron within the brain. When we have some free time the next day, I'd like to tell you something more sophisticated. Why? It is important to understand all these topics. One thing is certain. It is simply an act of knowing oneself, or more accurately, knowing what is going on within the most complicated organ you have, your brain.